Hello, I'm back. For those of you guys who are watching #replay gang, the show will start at the 10-minute mark, so go ahead and skip forward. I'm wondering if there's like a New Year's. What's this? No. Is there a New Year's frame? No. There isn't. No. Mm. Ooh. I have such a busy day tomorrow. I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm gonna come home, and then I'm gonna go to another work. But it should be fun, hopefully. No. I just want to go to sleep. Thanks, JW. Only 6 people in the room? Interesting. It's weird. I just got a second notification that you were live. Well, I don't think people got the first notification, so I'm glad you got another one. Here are more people. Here they come. Mhm. Ooh. It's like I had a 4-day weekend last week, and then because I was off on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, miraculously, I was off. And then this week, I'm going to have another one. But I'm so tired. Like I worked a full week last. Like I'm so tired. It's weird. Hi, Yazelle. How are you? Thanks for coming back in, Babs. Yeah, so there's this holiday. There's this like I'm working this event in Minneapolis tomorrow by a guy who puts on I think his biggest party of the year is this event that I'm working is the Crystal Ball, and it's a big party in one of the downtown like on the is it the 50th floor? That's what they said to me. Let's see. Yeah. So he throws a party on the 50th floor of this building downtown. And I'm like, I text him and I was like, hey, I'm available on the 31st, if you need somebody to work the crystal ball. And he's like, yep, I need you. So I don't know what I'm doing downstairs. I don't know if I'm checking people in. I don't know if I'm like coat check. I don't know if I'm security or whatever. So I signed myself up to do that. And it's from 7:30 to 2 a.m. So, which is fine because I stay up late most days, even though I have work early the next day. Because I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit at home and do nothing. I might as well go make a little money. It's not a lot. Um, but like I might just get a little extra something. Hey, I finally get my first day off tomorrow. I worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after. I'm looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm just glad you get some time off. Did you get paid time and a half on or like extra pay for Christmas Day? Oh, there are two notification. Maybe one notification is for the um mobile because I have two like feeds. I have a mobile one, so for people who are using it via mobile, and I have people who use the regular just like YouTube app or on their TV and stuff. And a friend of mine was telling me that she had a very hard time finding my live. And I was like, I link it on Instagram, and she was like, yeah, the link it doesn't work or something. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I don't know. Okay, great. I'm glad that you got extra time. Thanks, Giselle. All right, guys, we're getting ready to get the party started. I'm tired. I'm tired. Oh my god, we're already on episode. Is it 4 or 5? Oh, it's 4. I put episode 5 in my notes. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is season 8, episode 4. It's going to be a bumpy ride. My name is Wah, and I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Love is Blind. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If while watching this you get the hee hee ha ha's and you want to give your girl a tip, you can do so with the options that are down below or the options here on the screen. All right, you guys, let's jump right into this episode. Happy New Year! Happy New Year. You would think that if there was like an actual song that people sang for New Year's, that they would actually teach it to some people at some point. You know what I mean? Like who learns that song? What community of people have learned that song, and what does it even mean, and where does it come from? Because like you see it, you hear it in movies and such, but it really isn't it really isn't anything, you know, that we know the words to. But anyways, let's jump right into this episode. So it was a good episode. We had a lot of couples in this episode, and I was not disappointed. I chuckled a few times. New couple alert. New couple alert. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that Jovan is 38 years old and he works in a nursing home. And this is his girl, Anna. And Anna apparently is crazy. I just can't sleep. She's from she's from the Philippines and he is from Alabama. Now, we're going to talk about a lot in here how she's making him feel a certain way. And I think that he is a catfish with low ambition, low to no ambition. He says, well, first of all, this scene that whoever decided to take like interviews or do interviews of the elderly people who live at the nursing home that he works in. I don't think that we have ever seen something like this on 90 Day Fiance. Whatever producer is working with whatever editor to edit this, I mean, really, really just did something very new and refreshing, okay? Because we have several interviews. We first start off with people playing bingo, and we're like, what's happening? Okay. And it's like, 61. What? 61. And here's another thing. These folks knew that the cameras were coming. Look at what Miss Ma'am is wearing. Look what Miss Mary over here has on with her blue top, her monochromatic outfit. Look at this. She said, I'm going to wear my good earrings on today. You see this bang? It's going to swoop. Okay? I'm going to wear my good earrings. And these bangs are going to, I'm going to get my nice little sweater set. And I'm going to get my good blue periwinkle pants. Okay, then sitting next to her is Miss Ma'am here who curled her hair. Miss Ma'am curled that hair. We see it. And she's wearing her nice lace shirt. That's a good church top, if you ask me. Okay, let's get a close-up of Miss Ma'am in this swoopy-doo bang. Look at that bang. Come on, Mary. She said, I'm going to wear my gold hoops. I got gold hoops and I got a gold chain. Plat out. And look at that. I'm going to tell you, that little bang has got me. She's like, listen, I run this bingo, okay? I run this bingo. And then we got my spirit animal. We got Miss Lady here, and look at her wig. Look at this wig. Her luscious locks. Okay? She said, I got all my jewelry on, including my heart ring that my man's got me. Because guess what? I married me a soldier. Is what she said. She didn't say my husband was in the army. She said, I married a soldier. I said, okay. And she said, he wanted to give me a heart. So he gave me this heart ring. Now, where that heart is, it's kind of difficult to see and find. But I said, okay. Look at her. And when she finds out that this man is married to a woman that he's never seen, she's like, "Oh, okay." And then we gonna get this fool. He hates every single angle that the 90 Day Fiance crew has put him in, because all the pictures of him that he gave to his wife when he first met her were pictures of him at a certain angle that had him looking a certain way that which he is not. Okay? Jovan, 38, in Alabama, married to Anna Lynn. And he gonna come around to these folks and he's like, y'all want some lemonade? And they're like, well, sure, we want some lemonade. There's a bear shit in the woods. Are we not genteel Alabama ladies? Yes, we would like some lemonade. Girl had a whole lime wedge in it and everything. I said, okay, get fancy here. And he's like, I work in an old folks home and I really love it. I really love it. But it's a low paying job. And I said, you love you a low paying job. I said, oh, Jesus is a fire. I said, oh, Jesus is a fire. This man has no ambition, or he's stuck, but he says he loves his low paying job. How do you love a low paying job? I mean, I know people do, but those people are usually like social workers. You know what I mean? Those people are like working for nonprofits. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying there's no glory in helping the elderly in a comfortable last 7 to 10. You know what I mean? There is nothing wrong with helping usher these folks onto glory and being there for them in their time of need, especially these ladies who did not come to play. I'm going to tell you right now, Miss Ma'am says, I'm going to put my gold hoops on. She put her gold hoops on and got herself put her gold chain on and came on television. These ladies didn't come to play. They're not playing with y'all. They're not playing with him either. Because he tells them, yeah, I'm going to go visit my wife. And they're like, oh, how long have you lived separately from your wife? And he's like, forever, the whole time. And they're like, and Miss Ma'am is like, I married a soldier, so my man went away for a while. I mean, who knows if he came back, because the way she said it. But like, she like, say what now? Okay. And he says that he went to look online for women because of his low paying jobs, and women in America want a 6-pack, 6 figures, and 6 inches. And he said he doesn't have that. And I said, you don't have 6 inches? Isn't that the average? Does Anna know that he doesn't have the average? Six-pack, 6 figures, and 6 inches. He's like, that's what I was like, you didn't make that up. I don't know what like misogynistic podcast you listen to, what red pill, women don't want men, incel thing that you be listening to, but you didn't make up 6-pack, 6 figures, and 6 inches. Do you know how many straight men do not have a 6-pack? What are you even talking about? When men say things like, "Oh, women want," I'm like, the women the women outside of your league who you are lusting after want that. If you stayed in your lane, in your league, then you would find you a good woman. You'd find you a good woman with no ambition who wants you with that low paying job. You find you a good woman, but you don't want that woman. You want a woman who does more and therefore wants more that you are not willing to do. So you took yourself to the Philippines and you got with Anna Lynn and you got exactly what you deserve, because Anna Lynn knows what she wants. Anna Lynn, super cute. Anna Lynn could have any man in the Philippines, and I think any man in America that she wants. She's so beautiful, but she somehow got entrapped by you. And that is cause for concern. Because not only did she get trapped by you, you have the audacity to sit here on national television and tell us that she needs to take responsibility for the reason why you are emotionally cheating on her. And then your sister gonna say that she's wild, banana crazy. The way he describes her is he says that she's what is it, spiraling up and down in a loop-de-loop relationship. That before they got married, she was so demure and nice and kind, but then after they got married, she changed. And he had to fight to speak and to be heard. And he's worried that their problems are too big to solve. And I said, who signed up for this show? Now, I'm not mad at the fact that they are already married in a show called Before the 90 Days because it technically is before the 90 days, except for it's not the K1 visa they're doing. It's the spousal visa that they have to do. They got married during COVID online. And Anna Lynn is a good actress because she had a piece of paper and she was crying. She's like dabbing her eyes. I said, girl, you not crying over this man you ain't met on national TV just because you are through Zoom or Skype because you got married. Girl, you ain't crying. Put them tissues away. Put them tissues away, Anna Lynn. You ain't crying. So anyways, he gonna get on this show, talk about her negatively to us. And we see him working in an old folks home. He knows that he has a low paying job in Alabama. No ambition. Hasn't seen been together with her for 6 years, married almost 3. Didn't even know the numbers. She had to correct it for us. Then bring his old crazy sister in there. Sister gonna take him to the store. Sister gonna take him to the store and say, hey, get this shirt. And he's like, I feel like this is a shirt that somebody who failed pottery class would get. And I said, I see where you were going with that joke, but it didn't land because that don't make no sense. You need to not say pottery class. You need to say art school or like watercolor. This sister gonna take you to this like Stacey Adams half off thrift store, old man, old head, Kango hat wearing. Look at all the shirts in the background. Look at every single shirt in that background. That is some kind of consignment store. Look at every single shirt in the background. She gonna pick this shirt out and tell you to wear it, and you know it don't look good, but you gonna take it anyway because your sister told you to wear it. So, anyways, Anna done called the sister and is like, "Listen, your brother is wild out here. He's doing things," and Anna's like, you need to talk to him. So she talks to him and she's like, what you doing? He's like, well, I was talking to this girl that I used to mess with. We never did anything physical, but it's because I was so stressed out about my marriage. You don't have an actual marriage, sir. You don't live with her. You don't pay her bills that we know of. You guys are not having to act. You don't have a real marriage at this point. To the point where you need to step out. You're not having sex with her. You are not having sex with your wife. You have not had sex with your wife, physical sex. And you are talking to some other woman because she had problems in her relationship, and you guys are finding comfort within each other. And somehow Anna Lynn found out. This is so hilarious. I love this. This is a really great segment. Whoever casted them, bravo. This is like great. It's so awful and terrible that is hilarious. He's like, someone I've known for a long time, and we're both going through problems in our relationship. She blocked me because she's so aggressive. And then the sister's like, she's 1000% unhinged off her rocker a little bit. I'm sorry, how are you going to be 1000% unhinged and off your rocker a little bit? If y'all two don't make it make sense. So then they finally get on a phone call because she blocked him. So the sister made her unblock him. And so they get on the phone call and it's a little standoffish. And he's like, stop being so aggressive. She's like, I'm not being aggressive. I'm just telling you how I feel and I'm expressing myself. And he's like, you think I cheated on you? She's like, no, but it's baby steps to temptation. And he's like, well, when I want to talk to you, I don't have anyone to talk to. And you're being so aggressive that I can't talk to you. She said, you have a mother, you have a father, you have a sister. Okay. You probably go to church. You got a pastor. But most of all, you are in America. Go talk to a therapist. If you don't leave that hussy alone, go talk to a therapist. He's like, nobody got no money for therapy. And I say, yeah, you took you 6 years to save up money to go fly over. He's like, oh, since COVID. COVID? It's been over. It's been over. You and Forrest need to learn how to save some money so you can take a trip to the Philippines. You can save $1,000 in a year. You could save $1,000 in a year. What's $5? You what? I- okay, hold on. Let me break down. Let's just say it costs just for the flight. Okay, let's say you wanted to go to the Philippines with only $3,000, including the flight. It's not enough, but let's say you wanted to go. $3,000 divided into 52. That's $57 a week. Now, that is a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot. 57. Okay, wait. Times 4 equals. Yeah, that's $230 a month. Get you a second job. Get you a second job. You could do that. If he got himself a second job, he could make an extra $230 a month, enough to save up $3,000 to go see his girl. After 6 years, let's just say 50, clear 52 times 2 is 104. So that's 2 years. Okay. Let's do that math again. Let's say $3,000 divided into 104. That's $28 a week times 4. That's $115 a month. Get you a second job so you can go see your wife, who you contractually put yourself in holy matrimony with. And he's like, she's not even taking responsibility for making me feel so bad that I got to talk to another woman. And he's like, I know that I was supposed to do the things and I was supposed to come visit you a long time ago. And so I apologize for that. And she's like, okay. She accepts his apology. I said, Annalyn, you could do so much better with these sad men from America. You could do so much better. Okay. I'm done with that rant. What are you guys talking about? Okay. Love the dear elders. They got the youngest residents in the home. Oh, Lord. She's probably like, so a crazy man has been taking care of us. I've never disliked a cast member immediately like I do Javon. The most beta and waste of man. Oh, beta girl. He's not a he's an omega. He's a zeta. Okay. He's a delta. He don't get alpha, he don't get beta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. He's a delta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Oh my gosh. Love her with the heart ring. Yep. He takes pictures of himself in a very specific angle so that he looks like he looks good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 6 feet, 6 pack, 6 figures, 6 inches. What on earth? He got it, Juan. He thinks that Asian women will be used to that because of stereotypes. Exactly. Joslo, if you don't tell the truth and shame the devil, girl, exactly. I said you're not even average at full mass. What? Nah. Women want a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes. Who's Caesar? I can't remember who Caesar is. Remind me who that is. Remind me who that is. Caesar and Maria? Who are they? Caesar and Maria? 90 Day Fiance? Caesar and Maria, 90 Day Fiance. Oh, yes. Black pedicure man. Mm-hmm. And Maria, Ukrainian. Okay, great. Girl, you just pulled that out of the analogs of the 90 Day Fiance megaverse because I could not remember who that was. I don't know who y'all are talking about. What a pathetic man. The American sounds like E. Yeah, no, he's terrible. Listen, one time my CAA driver helped me get back into my car and then delivered my Uber groceries at the same month. That man was a CAA tow person and delivering Uber Eats in between calls. It's just, I'm telling you. The nail tech. Yeah. Hi, dating doula. Oh my God. Y'all. Hi, Soraya. Welcome in. This man is ridiculous. And she's so pretty. But anyways, so cheers to that. That was a really great segment. I think I'm gonna really like him. He's gonna get on my nerves, but in a great way, because she's gonna be on that ass the whole way. She's not gonna let up for nothing. She's not gonna let up for nothing. I love it. Okay, here's another crazy ones that I really enjoy. We have got Daniel and Lisa. Now, Daniel and Lisa, this is crazy. Okay, Daniel and Lisa. So we start off where she's like, oh my God, I'm going to pee. When I get nervous, I pee. And it wouldn't that be a thing if I'm just standing there and I see him and I just pee all down my legs. And we are like, ma'am, madam, this story isn't as great as you think it is. This is not a good story for you to be telling people. I took a picture of her and she's like, I'm just going to pee everywhere. What if I pee everywhere? I'm just going to pee. And we're just like, stop it. Oh, where's that picture? Of course it didn't upload. Boo. No, I'm gonna find it because that's annoying. Give me my I took these pictures. I want my pictures. This woman says, what if I pee? I'm so excited to meet Daniel. I can't believe I'm going to Nigeria, Africa. And her poor daughter is like, she's in the kitchen making her mom's coffee. And she's just like, I'm so tired. And I'm worried because my mother is just like, I'm just worried she's going to go over there and marry that man. She's bad with directions. She, I just, she makes bad decisions. Like, this is not a good situation. And then Lisa comes out of the room and she's like, okay, so when the note arrives, you're going to have to take it to the post office, because once it gets there, it's going to need to be notarized and it's going to need to go to the judge so the judge can sign it. And we end up finding out that she is 9 years out of her last marriage and has not gotten divorced yet. And this is where now the timeline is very confusing to me, because at this point, I said Lisa is not 52 years old. She has been married 5 times, and she says that and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but she says she's been married 5 times. So the first one, she could have just been married for 2 months, okay? The second one, I think that's the one that she had her daughter with. So maybe a year. The third one, that's the husband that she knew that, she had the best time with, but then he was the one who, led her to believe that she was lesbian. And then she says that she was married twice to 2 women. What I thought she said was for 20 years each. Maybe she just meant 10 years each. But if she's been out of a relationship, so maybe she meant 10 years total. 20 years total, she'd been with women only for the last 20 years. But she hasn't been married or in a relationship with her last person for 9 years. So that means she's 52. So since she was 43, she hasn't been with her last person. So from the ages, let's just say 18 to 42, she had 5 marriages, the latter of which the last 20. So somebody explain it to me. I need the timeline. Either her first 3 marriages were like 18, 19, 20. And then she was with women until she was 42, and then hasn't been in a relationship for the last 9 years. Y'all figure it out. Do the algorithm, do the math. because it is very confusing to me. What is happening? So she's like, I told Daniel that I was available for marriage. But I because I never got divorced. It's been 9 years and I didn't think it was important, but now, we're going to do it because I want to be with Daniel. And so she's like, I want to show him that I'm officially divorced, because she's been lying to him this whole time. Um she says that her heart, like, the producer's like, so Faith is worried that you're gonna go there and get married, and she's like, I mean, I she's like, are you gonna do that? She's like, well, I mean, my heart is telling me to jump in with both feet, and I love him so much. I want to hold on to Daniel. I want to be with him. I want to be a part of him. I want to be his wife. And I said, may this level of delusion and love never find me. This is so sad and hilarious to watch. But to see somebody who does not find any value, it feels like, for themselves outside of being in some kind of tandem relationship with someone, to the point where your child would have been to 15 different schools in their entire life. Now, I get it. There are children who grow up on army bases, and there are lots of and loads of reasons why children do not have a stable school. But 15? That's once a year. That's every single year you change a school, because you only have 12. Right? You only have 12, 13 years of schooling. And you've had 15 schools? Now, I know people have had more. But I'm just like, that is horrible. And Lisa has like a Southernish accent. So I feel like she didn't like grow up in King of Prussia. She moved around a lot. So very confusing. It's a very confusing situation. She's like, I want to be with him. My heart says that I want to be with Daniel. So then we cut to Daniel, because she gets to the airport and she's very excited about it. And they do that 24 hours. And now we got Daniel, who's a whole character. Daniel is like, first of all, they show us Legos, and they show us a side of Legos that we've never seen. They show us the Al Jazeera side of Legos, okay? They're showing us the AP Legos. Also, did y'all know that y'all's president bombed Nigeria on Christmas Day? There was an attack. A US military attack on Nigeria on Christmas Day. That's y'all's president. Because of the Muslim population, and I'm just like, first of all, you can call them an S-hole country, and you don't want people from that country coming over there. But then you gonna send troops into Nigeria, of all places, to, like, I guess, not handle whatever situation, whatever mounds of debris that area in Lagos is living on top of. You don't send the Peace Corps or the army in there to help clear the mounds of debris that I'm pretty sure has something to do with American capitalism and consumerism. You don't send them there to do that. You send them there because of whatever religious tensions is going on in Nigeria. Like, Nigerians don't have soldiers that they can handle their own stuff. You don't send them there to get fresh water, because something recently happened in some part of Nigeria. I don't know if it was Lagos, but the government is like taking over land, and the people are like, no, but we own this land. And they're like, no, you don't. There's literally human rights issues happening in Nigeria that have to do with the government treating people poorly, but you're there to stop the Muslims and the Christians fighting. You can't think of another reason to go to Nigeria and get this made? Now, this man is a scammer. This is a scamming ass scammer. This is a scamming ass prince scamming. Okay? He talking about that he's a Christian Igbo man, but then he gonna go to the shaman and get his fortune read. Like, listen, go to the shaman. Do the religion of your ancestors. Speak to them. Call up this man and have him read your moon chart, because I love this man and I want to go to him and I want him to reveal it to me like the moon as well. But then you're going to say you're a Christian man. And I said, okay. And the Yule log has something to do with Jesus being born. Mm-hmm. He wasn't born in a manger. He was born under a Christmas tree. Like, Easter, resurrection / Dionysus celebration of fertility. Come on now. Come on. Let's talk about paganism and Christianity. Two things that are supposedly juxtaposition, just living, just. He says, I'm a good Christian Igbo man. Tell me my fortune. You know what I mean? Tell me what the ancestors are saying. And so that man tells him what the ancestors are saying. But on his way, he tries to haggle down the price of chili. He also tries to haggle down the price of some leafy greens, okay, for 400 naira. Nah. He says, when my mother was on her deathbed, she said to me, son, during the war, I was saved by a white woman. So you should marry a white woman. Go and find you a white woman. So he says, mother, okay, I find me a white woman. So he finds Lisa. He says he likes Lisa, but there are some things that he is worried about. Because number one, she vapes. Number two, she has been married. Number two, she has been married. And number three, which is the worst of it, she has had physical relations with another woman. In my culture, I'm going into the Caribbean right now. In my culture, we don't believe in same sex. I said, you don't believe in same sex? You don't think that you're the same sex as that person over there? It's not a thing. We don't believe in same sex. You either get banished or killed, so it's not a good thing. He's like, I love her because she takes care of me. She gives me money. And so I'm going to go to the shaman to see, or to the, I'm talking to my ancestors. And this man is like, tell me, ancestors, tell me, ancestors, tell me what's going on. And he's like, is she white? And Daniel's like, yes, she's white. He's like, oh, the ancestor said, go for it. The ancestor says, go for it and get your white woman. And he said, okay. He's like, let me tell you only good things for me if I can get this white woman. Because you're going to bring me out of, again, I'm Caribbean right now. She's going to bring me out of Nigeria. And then as a better life for me in America. I just am concerned that, not concerned of my scamming, but of her vaping. He's like, she's been married twice. I said, oh, Lisa, you've been lying to this man. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. You have been lying to this man. You done told this man that you are available for marriage, that you only been married 2 times, and that you only had one physical interaction with one woman that one time 20 years ago. Oh yeah, she's scamming too. It's like Caribbean mixed with Wakanda accent. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was going away. I couldn't keep it. I like her. You know, so I'm trying to channel my inner Michael with Angie baby. Or Soulja Boy with baby Galisa. I couldn't keep it. Okay, also Daniel is lying. There are lots of gay Nigerian men living in Nigeria. Whether he's openly gay depends on his social class and money. Gayness is fine when you're the children of rich people. Listen, you ain't never said a lie. Yeah. You ain't never said a lie. Okay, so now we have this, and it is hilarious because at this point, this 62-year-old woman who was lying to us and telling us that she is 52, she is not 52. There is no way, unless that vape just, I mean, is attacking her and just drawing her skin down. There's no way. There's no way that she's lived the life that she's lived. Or she's 58. Maybe not 62, but she would. There's no way she's 52 years old. 21 years with women, but hasn't been with a woman in 9 years? Let's do that math. 52 minus 9 is a 43. 20 years prior to that is 23. 23. You married 3 times before the age of 23? Then just say that, because this is very confusing. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, anyways, this is gonna be a wild and hilarious ride when she's like, I feel like, I'm like, you are just a liar. You say that you think that you and him belong together, but you can't even be honest with him. And then you're gonna tell him that you've been like, she is, again, if she's truly a part of the LGBTQ community, like, I'm not saying you gotta ride at dawn every single time something happens, but damn, you can't be with somebody who is so blatantly homophobic and hates you and feels like in his culture you would be banished or killed because you told him that you once had a physical thing with a woman. But the truth is, you've had a 20-year thing with a woman, 2 women. And you're gonna want to be with somebody who is anti that? I just don't know. I don't know. Whew. Okay. Now let's get back. Happy New Year. Let's go to this couple. Where are they? Oh, you know who we still haven't seen is them. When are we going to see them? Okay. Next couple is Emma and Zayed. All right. So when they first show us this, they are trying to get us to see how cool Zayed is, right? So they're like, ooh, look at this guy on his motorcycle. Vroom, vroom. And then we're like, I'm looking at this, and the first thing that I notice, and I don't know what you notice, is I said, whose 16-year-old prepubescent teen son is this? Look at these arms. Look at this child's arms. These are the arms of a child. Mm-mm. Not a bicep to be had. No. And then it turns out that it is Zayed, and he is out in a boot in the morning because he says yesterday was rough and he just needed to get away from Emma. He needed to get away from her, and he just went out around. And so he has his morning ablutions or whatever it is that he's doing. Maybe he actually did go pray. Maybe that's what he was actually doing. Maybe he got up and went and prayed. And he comes back, and she's already dressed, and he has the house lady make them some food. And I'm like, please, I need to go to this. I need to go to Marrakesh, to this riad, and like, I need this service. God, what luxury. She's like, I don't like eggs, but I'll eat them because she made them. And she's like, but I'll eat the tea. I'll drink the tea because I like the tea here. I normally don't like tea, but I'll, and I'm like, what a blessing to just not like so many different types of foods. Because I love all different types of food. When she didn't want to try that escargot, I said, go ahead and hand that to me. Let me try it. And also, I didn't appreciate her saying it was gross. Like, you don't have to call people's food gross. You could just say, it's not for me. I'm not going to eat that. I'm so sorry. I can't eat that. Unfortunately, I can't eat it because I've seen it in the market with its tongue lolling out and flies all around it. I cannot eat that piece of meat. I don't want it. Thank you. No, thank you. My stomach hurts. Oh, I can't. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, it looks so good. My tummy hurts. Like, you could say a lot of things. You don't got to say things are gross. So anyways, They eat this food, and she's just like, "I'm really sorry for yesterday. I was going through a lot. Like, I have something to tell you. Like, it was a long flight. You didn't want to kiss me. I'm sorry that I behaved the way I did. But I lost my job." So he hugs her, and he's like, "It's okay, babe." And she's like, "Yeah, just like a lot is going on. Just And she's like, "I'm sorry, it was such a tornado." And he's like, "What's that word?" And she's like, "And it's like an earthquake." And I said, "No, a tornado is not like an earthquake." She's like, "It's a natural disaster." And I was like, no, no. An earthquake could cause a natural disaster. Mhm. An earthquake, it's an earthquake and a tornado are not the same. And both of them can cause natural disasters, just like a tsunami can cause one. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, why don't you just tell him what a tornado is? Tell him it's like a cyclone of gust of wind. It's like super duper strong winds that happen in the plains of America. But it's she and so he's like, "It's okay." So they go to marketplace, and he's like, "I want her to feel good, and I know she likes shopping." So they go, and then the first time in 90-Day Fiance history, y'all, we witnessed something new for the first time in 90-Day Fiance history. She says, "I'll take 3 of these," and he says, "No, I'll pay for it." And I said, "We have never had the non-American offer to pay for the items that the American has purchased. Never. You tell me, am I crazy?" I was so shocked that I was like, "Oh, his small arms are forgiven for now." You tell me if I'm wrong. I'll wait. Am I wrong? Does anyone else remember any foreigner buying something for the American? Maybe a meal, maybe that we didn't see, but like I have never seen it. I have never ever seen them go, "Oh, I will, babe, you want this purse? I will buy it." I've never seen Sarper buy Shekinah anything. Maybe he's paid for the meals. Maybe he's got the coffee, but I've never seen her be like, "Babe, look at this." And he's like, "Oh, babe, you want that? Okay, I'll buy it for you." Never. Not to say that it hasn't happened, but we've never seen it. And so I was just like, and so was listen, I would have turned to three. I would have turned to 182 if I were her. I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he offered to buy me this." Like, he hears that I don't have any money, and so he's like, I mean, I'm sure it was like $1 for all 3 of them, which is fine. But like, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So, uh, um, where am I at? Apologize. Oh, she apologizes, and he makes her repeat it 3 times. She's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "What?" She's like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Nah, I'm not playing this game. I already said it twice. Get out of my face." And so they decided now that she can blow air kisses at him when they're together in public. She's like, "Thank you. Can I give you a kiss?" He's like, "No." She's like, "Can I do this?" And he's like, "Yeah." So they do that. And also the fact that they're actually touching, I was like, okay, he's allowing her to touch him, and her to, them to hold each other, right, in public. So it's like, okay. And they sit down, they eat the escargot, and she's like, "That's so gross." And he's like, "What's the gross?" Well, he's she says, "What's the grossest thing that you've ever eaten?" And he's like, "I don't know. Like, to me, I like this. This is great." And he says something like sushi, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's so good." And he's like, "Well, I think it's gross." And I said, "Fair," even though it's not. But like, the fact that she's gonna say that the escargot is gross is like weird to me, and you're not even tasting it. No. So then she's like, actually, they get into a horse-drawn carriage, and she's just like, "Just so you know, like, your lies yesterday really triggered me because I've been lied to a lot." And he's like, "Don't worry about your past, and you don't need to talk about it." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't, I already know everything about you." She's like, "No, you don't." And he's like, "Yeah, I do. You don't need to talk about your past. Let's not talk about that." And she's like, "You don't know anything about me. I gotta tell you about my past. I gotta, I gotta do it." And he's like, "No, I don't need to know about it." And I was just like, "Oh, he doesn't want to hear about guys, or he just like doesn't want to really get to know her. And like from a Western perspective, him not wanting to know about her past is basically him not wanting to get to know her. And so I could see that. So she's like upset. Adnan paid for her stuff when they went shopping. Are you talking about when they went to get to like the Thanksgiving meal? I mean, that is true. But there wasn't the whole thing of like Adnan and Tiger Lily that they were both wealthy. So I never once was, yeah, right. Yeah. That's true though. I'll give you that one. So anyway, she's upset with him. I guess he doesn't want to know her past. So we're gonna get more drama next episode because she's gonna talk about, going through his fucking phone and having an extension app on her computer that allows her to look to see who follows everybody in the world. And if you have to do all that with your partner, then why are you even bothering with that person? Why are you even bothering the person? Okay. Next couple that we are going to talk about is Sheena and Forrest. Now, Molly is a hoot and a holler. And I really enjoy the fact that Sheena is able to truly take them on a really good like adventure in the Philippines. So Forrest comes out and he's like, I can't believe how hot it is. I'm gonna have a sunburn in 10 seconds. And so then we have a little confessional where Molly's like, oh, well, you guys went to get together and do the waka waka. And I'm just like, Molly, if you and Forrest want to go into the sex shop together and buy lingerie for Sheena, like that's one thing. But once you get in front of Sheena is a grown ass 40-year-old woman. Okay. Grown. Born in the 80s, grown. You are not going to have a conversation with Sheena about sex or sex adjacent the way you have that with your son, who is 32 years old and on the spectrum. You're not going to do that. So stop it. And I think that she doesn't understand that Sheena and her son have a huge age gap. Maybe she does, but that maybe emotionally they kind of act the same. But once they get together, they are allowed to be a couple who's autonomous. And she's not allowing that. So we find out that Sheena has a condo or something in Manila. It's not clear if she lives in said condo by herself or with her family, but that when it came time for Forrest and his family to come there, Sheena's parents wanted to charge them to stay in the apartment. And I am just thinking, do Sheena's parents not know that Forrest and Sheena are in a relationship? Because Forrest is like, if I'm in a relationship with your daughter and we're going to get married or we're on the road to that, why would you charge me to stay in your apartment? And I thought the same thing. Unless for whatever reason, maybe the apartment is an Airbnb and they need that income, or I'm just confused. I need more information because right now Sheena's parents are an unknown entity, and I don't want to judge them based on the things that are being said about them because I don't necessarily know if Sheena is being fully honest. Like, or I just don't know that things are as on the I just don't know. I don't want to be here talking about these people and there's some falsities that are going on. But anyways, so they have to get a condo. They have to get some kind of like hotel condo space in the Philippines. And he says that he saved for 7 years for a plane ticket to get to the Philippines. And I'm at this point, I'm like, you didn't save for you're not you he saved for 7 years like $10,000 so that he could go to the Philippines and do something nice. That's what I think he did. I don't think he was just saving for like a $1,200 plane ticket. He's saved for 7 years for his entire time in the Philippines. So they get to the place. He brings out the jackfruit. He's holding it. And he also makes an inappropriate joke with his mom too. Like she hits the jackfruit and she's like, "Oh, it's sticky." And he's like, "Yeah." He makes some kind of like jackfruit jizz joke, and I'm just like, I don't need a jizz joke about a fruit. So if we could just like, if everyone just needs to go down and take a nap because y'all are tired and it's hot, just let's just everyone do that. It's not huge, but it's 7 years, 8 years. Forrest is only 32. Sheena's 40. So, anyways, um, he presents her with the lingerie, and I can tell she's uncomfortable. She's like, "Oh, that's so sweet, baby. Thank you." Like all her responses are very automatic about the lingerie. And then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna have sex," but then the space is too small for them to have sex. And so Forrest goes to brush his teeth, and he's talking to the cameras. He's like, "I'm just really nervous about losing my virginity." So they end up talking, and they decide that they're not gonna have sex. And I thought, they both like, "We want to get to know each other more." And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably a lot of pressure that your mom's next door. The cameras are gonna, the producers are gonna ask you if you had sex. It's like all this build up to their sex, and these are two grown people, again, 32 years old and 40. Like, we cannot have them talking about. Sorry, my jaw is a little out of line. Like, it just feels weird when I try to get it go. We just can't continue to have these conversations about their sex life. He's like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna blow her socks off, but I just feel like I want to make her comfortable. So, um, he says the first time having, being with Sheena and sleeping in the same room with her was amazing. And he says that he learned something new about her, that nighttime Sheena's a little grabby. And I like that for them. And so they just want to get to know each other better. And especially when Molly's not around. So the next day, Sheena takes them to Chinatown. And on the way to Chinatown, Molly is in the front seat in front of Dev and in front of this driver who most likely speaks English, is like, "So, did you guys do the nookie nookie?" And they're both like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Our bodies, blah, blah, blah." Like, and then she goes, "Why didn't you do the nookie nookie?" And Forrest is immediately like, "Hey, mom, like, stop. You're being disrespectful. This is really awkward." And Molly is like, "Oh." Molly comes out of that car and is like, she's got her clutches in him already. She's already controlling him because he would talk to me about sex, and now he doesn't want to talk to me about sex. And I'm like, "Molly, because Sheena is not your daughter. You don't get to ask about her sex life in front of her. You don't get to make this woman talk about her sex life in front of this stranger in a pedicab. Like, this is not an appropriate environment for said conversation." So, like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, "Oh no." So then they go to Chinatown, and she's like, "The reason why I'm bringing you to Chinatown is because actually the Chinese settled here before the Spaniards. And so my mom is of Chinese descent and blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "Oh, tell me more. And also give me all that food. Give me all that food in Chinatown." Ah! So then they get there and they go to have like soup or ramen, or it can't be pho because pho is Vietnamese, but they go to have some kind of handmade noodle dish. And I know it's hot outside, but girl, I wanted some noodles. I said, "Please, please get me to the Philippines and get me some delicious noodles." So they're having a good time, they're talking, and all of a sudden Molly's like, "This seems like the perfect time to attack Sheena." So, "Sheena, why did you lie to us about this money that you were supposed to save?" And she's just like, "Well, in my culture as the breadwinner, you're supposed to take care of your family and give them all of your money. And when I would try to save money or put money away, my parents would make me feel bad and call me all kinds of names, and I just didn't want to hear it anymore." And then she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. I'm glad. You already said that. What I'm asking is, why did you lie to us about it?" And she's just like, and then even Forrest is like, "We don't know what you're saying." And she's like, and then finally Molly's like, "Okay, girl, thank you for all that. But if you could just answer why you decided to lie to Forrest when you know that if anybody, that he would be the one to support you." And I'm like, well, she probably lied to Forrest because she didn't want to disappoint him. She didn't want to disappoint him. Like, she's like, "I'm trying to be braver with my family," but she's there by herself, and I'm not, no, I don't, we don't know what this woman's parents are telling her. If she's telling the truth, we don't know what they're saying to her. We don't know what's happening in her life. So like let's just believe her for a second. And they're like, you could have saved up money and ran away from your parents. And I'm like, she can't. The way that they're talking is very Western. It's very Western and just like it. What you're gonna tell this woman it's very Western. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really, really presumptuous and Western of Molly and Forrest to believe that somehow Sheena was supposed to overcome years of either A, low self-esteem, and B, being talked negatively about. Like, we don't know how many siblings she has. Maybe she's the only sibling who's never been married. Maybe there's a lot of pressure on her. Maybe, maybe they say all kinds of stuff to her from what she's saying. Like, and you just think that she's gonna just save a bunch of money and move to America and leave everything she's known behind because that's what you would do? Like, people live in cycles of abuse. And it's not even just cycles of abuse. This is her culture. It's not just her family, it is her country's culture. A country that she loves, a country that she knows everything about. She is able to take tourists from America and like plan a whole thing for them. Like it's weird for them to say that. It's weird for them to just assume that she could just ride off into the sunset and just leave her whole entire family behind. Especially we don't know her situation. What if she is the only child and she's expected to take care of her family? It is yeah, it's just really 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 presumptuous of them and it was annoying. And so finally, Forrest wants answers, but at the same time, he sees his woman in peril. And I'm going to tell you right now, we can talk about Forrest being on the spectrum, but of all the men in the 90 Day Fiance universe, when you have the family coming and talking about your spouse, wanting to know if they're here for the right reasons, Forrest let it go on. But at some point, he said, Mom, okay, I'm going to need you to leave Sheena alone now. Thanks. And Molly's like, no, Forrest, we've got to find it. She's like, no. He's like, no, we don't. I get it, and I want your answers too, but you're going to stop beating up on and attacking her right now. I'm not attacking her. Yes, you are. It's too hot for all this. It's too hot. I'm too hot. The soup is too good. Leave her alone. She's already cried 3 times. We can't understand her. So, like, go ahead and leave her alone. It's fine. And she's like, well, she's got her clutches in Forrest. And I'm just because you want your clutches in Forrest. Now, I do understand that Molly is a mom and that she's had to take care of Forrest his entire life and that she has done her very best. But at this point, she has got to learn to back up. And this whole narrative that Sheena is somehow just like clutching on to Forrest and turning Forrest against her is a trope that I really find disgusting. When I find it disgusting when women fight against other women and then they somehow talk about like how that woman has control over the man. I don't like that narrative. I think it's destructive. And I think a lot of the times, like, what is this? Adam's Family 2? Is this Uncle Fester and Joan Cusack? Like, what is this? This idea that somehow this woman is like put her magic trick or done her voodoo on your son and has turned your son's head away from your influence. The only reason why you feel that way is because you want influence over him yourself. So, like, what are you talking about? Oh, he's too deep. He has blinders on. Girl, you're attacking this woman because she didn't save up money. This ain't even your relationship. And also, like, yeah, it ain't even your relationship. Also, it's confusing to me because was Sheena saving up her own money or was Forrest sending her money to save up for them? And then my question is why are you sending money to the Philippines for the Filipino person to save it in their bank? If you don't go ahead and put it in a union, what is it, credit union? Save your money. Come on now. Okay. Moving on to our last couple. That is BeerCon and Lara. We find out that BeerCon, y'all, is a hobosexual. This whole time, like, we knew something was up with him because he was like, yeah, I'm going through it, but we didn't know that man didn't have no place to live. Does Laura know that she don't got no place to live? that he's been bouncing back and forth from Istanbul to wherever this is now, that's sleeping on folks' couches. So she rented this Airbnb and he's in this Airbnb and he's like, I'm so excited to meet Laura. This Airbnb is like so large. Like, oh my God. And she's like just touching down. She's nervous. She's changing her outfit so that she can meet him. When they first meet, it's beautiful. He hugs her. He kisses her. They are staring into each other's eyes. And then as soon as they get onto the train, he don't know who this woman is. He is at that point very awkward. And she's like, oh, you're exactly who I thought you were, the main male character in a romance. Every once in a while, she's mentioned something about her spicy romance books. And I'm like, in what universe did you write about a skinny little man that don't got no home and his teeth messed up? She's like, he has the neck tattoo. I said, a lot of people got a neck tattoo. If you wanted to make Johnny from Johnny and Chloe of 90 Day Fiance the other way, the main character of your spicy romance, I'd give you that, even though to me, even then, it's not good enough. Not good enough. Birkin is absolutely not good enough to be the main character in a male realm. No. So then they get into the train and he's like awkward. He's like, what did I do? Oh my God, she's so much older. Now, let me tell you right now. If she doesn't, to me, this is good old Bridget Jones. This don't look like Bridget Jones to you? This is Renee Zellweger, Bridget Jones. Every time I see Laura, I think, oh, she's so cute. She looks like Bridget Jones. A Bridget Jones's Diary. She's so stinking cute. And whenever they show that old picture of her where she was gained more weight or was heavier and she was like 300 pounds, I'm just like, girl, she looked older because she didn't like dye her hair and it was all gray. And like, I'm like, can we just, Laura looks great. She not, Bridget Jones is one of my I will always watch Bridget Jones's Diary. I will always watch it. The last one I could do without. The second one was funny. The last one, I've watched it twice. The first one, I've watched it more than twice. I love Bridget Jones's Diary. And yeah, I loved it. I feel like I could watch it right now. I'll go find it and put it on. It's just one of those movies for me. It just really hit a chord when she was like, all by myself. And sometimes when I'm drinking red wine, I think of that and I want to put that song and be like, oh, like, or when she makes that meal for him and doesn't take the like wrap off the leeks, and so the soup is blue. He loves her and she's so crazy. She's so crazy. She could pass and play Bridget Jones as a suburban theater company. Yeah. This was, yeah, she was a little bit like, and I'm like, girl, if you don't get that man's face. This whole story reminds me of Vanya. Oh, hi. Long time indeed. So Birkin came in hot and then hit an iceberg in the train and they landed in ice. Weird solo. Yeah. And so anyways, they get back to the hotel. She's like, I feel bad. You're carrying my bags. And I'm like, this man has no home. And you are providing him with an Airbnb for however long, 2 weeks you're going to be in Turkey. Let him carry your bags. I was like, listen, and I get it because I sometimes feel bad when men do things for me too, because I don't know. I need to really undo my like internal, like, oh, men are people too kind of thing, because they're not. Just kidding. They are. But a lot of these men out here just be like whack. And like, I guess I just need to learn to like, and I don't even know why. It's not like the men in my life are like, oh, Wahima, I need help. Like, no, my brother will do all the things. My dad will do all the things. Except for now he hurt his back, so he can't do a lot of stuff. But I get taken care of by the men in my life. And I don't know why it's hard for me to let like strangers take care of me. But anyways, let's unpack that later. she's like, I feel so bad. So they get there and she's like, wow, it's really big. And so then she's like, I'm exhausted. But they do end up going out. So she changes, they go out, and he's like, architecture is art we live in. And she is so impressed by this. And I said, I'm gonna need you to go back home and talk to Michael and raise them standards, because if some young man is gonna tell me when darkness comes, the night shines the light, I'm gonna fight him in the streets. If we're walking around, and that actually happened to me once. I was with somebody and I was like, I was trying to be like cool because like in my mind, I guess I thought he was like, yeah, I'll tell you right now, I have a real hard time. Like there was a time in my life where I was like, oh, going Dutch makes sense. Or like, yeah, if he, if he doesn't have it, then like I'll meet him where he's at, because I'm a good woman. I'm a good Christian woman, and I want to meet a man where he's at and help lift him and build him so that we can create this like whatever, and he'll forever appreciate this like woman who came into his life and was so loving and adoring and supportive. And now I'm just like, girl, if you don't pay for every single thing that's going on right now. Oh, I had a date yesterday. It's just a story for another day, child. This man, I didn't have a date. I had a meetup. I didn't get his number before I went, so we're talking through the app. I get to the spot 20 minutes away in the blizzard, okay? And this man gonna tell me that he went home because I didn't respond to his text. We're supposed to meet at 6 p.m. I get there at 7:40 and tell him I'm 7 minutes away. He's like, I went home. I'm sorry, you went where? Oh, I went home because I texted you at 5:15 and you didn't respond. We're meeting at 6. Well, I wanted you to respond and you didn't, because I was driving in a blizzard. I was driving in a blizzard. He's like, well, can we meet tomorrow? I said, no, I got something to do, which is today, which is you. I have you. I have you guys to hang out with. Girl, sick of these men. Anyways, so they go out and do that. And he's over here like, oh, architecture is the art we live in. I would throw something at his fucking head. Don't talk to me in philosophical rhymes. That don't pay the bills. And so then so then they get back to the house and she's like, yo, you want to go to bed? And I'm just like, first of all, she's a little too fresh. Why don't you go shower? Why don't you like get a good night's rest and maybe then try to cuddle up with him on another day? She is really living her full fantasy. I'm like, girl, y'all still are strangers. And he's really grateful for the fact that you have put him up in this Airbnb for the 2 weeks. But for you to be like, oh, why don't you want to come in the room and like, I guess watch me undress? I don't know what it is that she wanted from him in that moment. But this wasn't going to be the MMC. This wasn't going to be the male fantasy that she thought it was going to be. So anyways, she's like, I'm really tired, whatever. And he's like, oh, it's only 9. I'm not tired. So you go ahead and go to bed. And so she like goes in the bed, presumably dirty. I'm like, girl, if you don't hit that shower, if you don't hit that shower and unpack them bags before you get in that bed. Yeah. Ugh. So she's upset because I guess it's not the fantasy that she thought. And he's just sitting in the living room watching TV. I guess I'm just too sleep. I'm too much of like, oh, I'm tired. We would not have walked around and talked about architecture our first night. I would have went directly to sleep. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna need y'all to get these lights up out of here, and we'll talk tomorrow. Okay? Bye, producers. She's like, it's not a super great magical moment. I'm sorry. I'm shocked. My full-blooded African father stayed telling me that nobody can take his daughter on a date and not pay for everything. The only thing my dad ever said to me was, Wahima, don't court a man. So I had this neighbor who, okay, so my neighbor, his son came to live with him. And I don't know how Tony was older. He wasn't that much older than me. He was fine though. And he came, and so we would just go to the movies. So one day, we went to the movies, but he's in like some Nike slides and basketball shorts and a t-shirt. And I'm in like whatever. And my dad's like, Wahima, don't court a man. And I was like, oh, I'm not courting him. Like, I own a vehicle and he doesn't. So, and we live 2 doors down from each other. So I'm going to go to the movies and he's going to come with me. He's not paying. I'm not paying for him. He's not paying for me. We are just going to go watch a movie. Real chill. That's the only thing my dad has ever said to me. So I don't know. So there was never a conversation of like, Wahima, when you're out with a man, let him pay for everything. And in fact, if he doesn't pay for everything, then dump him. My dad has never said that. One time, I was complaining to him about this guy I was dating, and I was like, he wants to drive our car. He's like, well, let him drive our car. It's okay. Because I was borrowing my dad's car, and it was my grandpa's car. I was borrowing a family car. I just moved back from New York to California. I was borrowing a family car. This man had a car, and he's like, oh, can we drive your car? Because my car needs an oil change. And I was upset. And I told my dad about it. And he's like, that's okay. And so that's why I think sometimes, I think that like mentally, whether or not I recognized it or not, the family dynamic between my parents and the fact that my mom always had more money than my dad because my dad was terrible with money, I think that that is what shaped me being like, oh, well, it's okay if he doesn't have, because of my dad. Not that he did it on purpose, but I just think because I was always like, oh, I don't want to be perpetually mad at a man because he doesn't make enough money or whatever. I just internalized that as like, if I do have to date a brokey, then I'm going to have to understand that I'm with a brokey and just like make room for it. Now I'm just like, no brokies. No, I don't want it. I don't want a brokey. I'm the only person that can be broke. So anyways, I heard that too from my African fam, but I did the opposite and it did not end well. Dating Dula, your father sounds amazing. He loves you a lot. Yeah, I'm like, girls, if woo, we did it, guys. We got through this episode. This was a good episode. I was actually very happy with it. Like, I hope you guys felt that through this review, this recap. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I mean, everyone's going to get on my nerves, because the reason why everyone's going to get on my nerves is because the 90 Day Fiance season is not just 10 weeks like a normal show. It's 22. And so then by the time you hit like week 13, you can't help but be pissed. You can't help but be pissed. Men have a function, and if women are forced to live under their patriarchy, the least they could do is do their function. You're right. Those who don't listen will feel. Those who are not taught by the mother will be taught by the world. Ooh! Hey! What is that, Confucius? Is that a Yoruba? Yoruba? Is that an Igbo proverb? Mm-hmm. I like it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I gotta go. I gotta wake up early tomorrow, and I'm gonna be asleep late. So happy New Year. We made it to 2026. I can't believe I started this journey with you guys in 2018, and I left for a few years, but I'm back, and we made it. So here's to, I don't have a beverage. Someone got this for me for Christmas. My neighbor got it from her. So here's to a new year. Here's to 2026. Here's to 2026 being better than 2025, financially, spiritually, romantically. And here's to the 90 Day Fiance franchise for keeping us giggling. You guys have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Salud! ¡Feliz Nuevo Año! Definitely financially. Thank you. Happy New Year. And everyone, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body right. Work, 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 Sinora.